Hello everybody, Old Guy Gaming here, backing in with another MTG Arena video, and tonight we're going to continue on our standard 2021 gameplay with Mono Green Stompy. So, to catch you up, in case you haven't noticed, the Arena team has added a new queue that is basically standard 2021. That is what standard's going to look like after rotation, plus obviously Rise of Zendikar. They decided to rotate some of the starts out early, so it's been an interesting queue. It's an interesting move by the development team, but cool. I like it. Gives us the chance to play around with some new decks and some new ideas, and rotates out half the cards in the game right now for standard, which is kind of fun. So there's a whole bunch of stuff you can sit down and play with and have some fun with. This one is going to be, of course, Mono Green Stompy, and one of my favorite archetypes to kind of go back on, because whenever rotation happens, no one's really sure what's going to be good quite yet. So it gives you some wiggle room to play around with some fun decks. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we've got. So we're going to start off with Moss Viper. Moss Viper is the one drop in this deck. Really good. I've always loved the one drop Death Touchers, because it really does kind of stall out aggro decks for a bit, because they're afraid to slam into a death touching creature that you genuinely don't care is there or not. It's just there to kind of serve as a solid blocker. If it does damage, great. If not, if it takes out a big creature, even better. Nessian Hornbeetle, one of my favorite cards that come out of Theros. It's 2/2, but if you have a creature with power more than 4, it gets bigger and bigger each turn. This is going to be important for a card later on down the line, because eventually we want to get this up pretty big if we can. Ram Through, great card. Basically, imagine Rabid Bite, but if your creature has Trample, it actually takes that excess damage and hits the opponent as well. So yeah, I'd say a better Rabid Bite, to be honest with you. So cool card, gonna run that one as well. And it's an instant speed, I do like that. Scavenging Ooze, obviously a fantastic card that came out of M21. This guy gets bigger and bigger and bigger. This is the whole concept of what a Mono Green Stompy deck does. He can do that at instant speed, and you gain life as well. So can't beat that. Wildborn Preserver, another one of the creatures that starts off small but has the potential to get big. There's a theme going on throughout this. These are smaller creatures that keep getting bigger and bigger throughout time, and we're getting to the reasons why. And this is it right here. Garruk's Uprising from M21. Basically, I think this is the Welcome Deck card, but it's actually really good. When it enters the battlefield, if you control a creature with power greater than 4, you draw a card. That's cool. All of your creatures now have Trample. Every one of them. So all of those creatures that we literally just went through that are like, yeah, they're cool, they keep getting bigger and bigger the whole way through, now they all have Trample. That's amazing. Oh, and by the way, if you have a new creature comes in with a power greater than 4, you get to draw a card as well. So it's a card draw engine as well. So there's a whole bunch of stuff wrapped up in this card. Fantastic. We're going to, of course, run 3 copies of Yorvo, 3 copies of Questing Beast, and since the arena-only cards are basically considered to be evergreens and can be played in standard forever, to the best of my understanding, Gigantosaurus is back in standard. So what better place? I've always heard this. Oh yeah, it's great, but it doesn't have Trample. Now it does, because in this deck, this whole thing is built around the idea of giving every creature in this deck Trample. We're going to run with 2 copies of the Great Henge and, of course, 4 copies of Stonecoil Serpent, just for a little bit of blocking in the air. So we're going to move on to some gameplay. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this Mono Green Stompy deck. If you have a better one or you have ideas on how to modify it, please let me know in the comments down below, because we are still early on. We haven't really seen any spoilers yet at the time of this recording for Theros, so I'm kind of curious to see what that set's going to bring to the game. While you're there, hit the like and subscribe button if you feel I've earned it and you enjoy the content. I do appreciate it. All right, all that YouTuber stuff out of the way. It's a Fun Deck Friday, and I couldn't do anything else than Mono Green Stompy. So I really wanted to do a Mono Black aggro deck, but Theros is going to have to, or not Theros, Zendikar is going to have to bring something to the table for Mono Black. There are still some cool cards in Mono Black, but the entire concept of just a straight up Mono Black aggro deck, I don't think is there anymore. Which is really disappointing, because it's one of my favorite archetypes. I like playing that deck style. So yeah, I'm going to be really watching those black spoilers from Theros. Could work out. Do you turn green, my friend? No, you do not. The black and purple scheme is my personal favorite. So I think I'm going to go with the Wildborn Preserver and then hope for the 3rd mana to get the Scavenging Ooze into play. Yorvo, and then right into Gigantosaurus. And we shall say hello. I love this card. This is, admittedly, this is 10-year-old me playing Magic. This is everything I wanted this card, like everything I wanted Magic to be, was big, gigantic 10/10 creature for 5 mana. Like, that's what Magic's supposed to be. Yorvo, whoa, are we playing a mirror match? Wow. So, yeah, let's go there. We will take that action. We're going to hold off because we are a little behind our own. Yeah, see, I debated doing that. I debated doing that one. No, you can have that. So, we're going to go here. We are going to take that action, bump him up 2 more. No, we're going to hold. I want to be able to give Yorvo something to be concerned about. I have another Wildborn Preserver in hand, so... Great Henge. Wow, this is almost an exact mirror match, except I took Garruk's Harbinger out of my deck. And I didn't run the Gilded Goose. Probably could have. I like the ramp. He elected not to. He's made a mistake. A classic blunder. I see my Gigantosaurus, and I see your Yorvo, and I raise you a Gigantosaurus. And he's elected to hold. Ah, I shall ram that through. And I raise you my own Yorvo. There can only be one. It's like a Highlander. I invite you to deal with Gigantosaurus, my friend. So he's got 1 creature in the graveyard. Sure, why not? Now all we need is Garruk's Uprising, please. Is he good gaming me? Whoa! Whoa! That's surprising. I did not see that coming. I guess he didn't get another creature because obviously we were going in with Wildborn Preserver next because now the biggest threats were off the board. Interesting. So I guess we sort of semi-won the mirror match. That's I don't know. Maybe he had nothing in hand that was genuinely going to help. Maybe it was all mana. And he drew another land. I've done that. That's happened. You've got 2 land in hand, you draw another one, you're like, alright, this is not going to help. Moss Viper. Heck yeah. And all the Wildborn Preservers? Sure. We need all 5 colors on the pie here. I mean, he suspects this might be mono red. Emulator with prowess, cool. Take action, I'm gonna bump that up, sure. Which way are you gonna go? The upside is, and I don't want to go too far. The hard counter to mono red. I've been seeing a lot of this. Sure. I'll take your prowess creature down. Interesting. Interesting. All those dragons are really big. I like the deck. I am gonna have to try to build one. This mono red. This is a very different way to play mono red. The mono red dragons deck. So cool. So cool. And then this little 1/1 Death Touching Viper. Like, the terror of the peaks. Literally all of these kill your creature. Interesting choice. Very interesting choice. Torbrand? Yeah, no, I could see it. And bump that up by 2 so we can block out his flyer. Gotta block someone. What are you gonna do, Torbrand? What are you gonna do? 2 Death Touchers on their way to come visit you? Chandra's Heart of the Fire. Very nice. Sure. They all have trample. What are you going to do? Going down to 2. Goes down to 2. Yeah, don't get me wrong. He's going to hit me pretty hard this turn. I'm not going to lie. Swinging doesn't make any sense. You have to block next turn. You can +1 and take her out, but again, I'm still coming in. Interesting. Sure. Sure. And we'll take 5. And draw a card. Aw, no fair. Oh, do I survive long enough to get this to go off? Gigantosaurus with trample. Oh boy. I'm like tingling. Sure, sure. This is going to be a lot of damage. No problem. Totally understand. Down to 2. Ah, you would do this to me just as I got him down to 2. Look how close this is. Ah, he's got it. Oh, he's got it. Chandra alone can do it, but darn it, I wanted to get Gigantosaurus down with trample. Oh, well, he's got us. Oh, that was close. See, again, that was my... I told you, I was trying not to get too much of a hubris there. Like, the real hard counter to Mono Green aggro is absolutely Mono Green. Mono Green Big Red, that is a different story altogether. Love that deck. I've seen that deck a couple of times. Different variations on it. Chandra is an interesting addition to it. I could see where that comes from, especially with Torbrand in play. But the having the dragons down, the one that the terror that actually does all the damage when creatures come into play with Torbrand, pretty nasty combo. Arcash? Arcash. Look at that curve. And then Gigantosaurus. We're running 2. But we're just going to get Gigantosaurus. Keep on coming. Look at those Moss Vipers. The Death Toucher. Look at that. Some Death Toucher on Death Toucher action here. Sure, we'll take each other out, no problem. Interesting. I'm going to hold the Moss Viper for next turn, because I want to be able to build up as many counters on Wildborn Preserver as possible. Wow, looks like we're just literally running through the exact same cards. Nope. We're going to go Garruk's Uprising. Draw that card. Hold on to that one. Let's get the Death Toucher off the board. Come back with our own Death Toucher, and then we're looking at Yorvo, probably? Maybe Scavenging Ooze, since we've got all these creatures in the graveyard. It's probably a better call. Yeah, I think that's probably the better call. Cauldron of Eternity. Cool. On his turn, I'm going to pull the creatures out of the graveyard for him. He's already counting the number of creatures he's got in the graveyard going, oh no! Oh no! I keep funneling more stuff into the graveyard. Because there's a Massacre Worm in there he's hoping to pull out. That's kind of his whole shtick. He wants to pull that Massacre Worm out. So when you're milling cards and your whole shtick... Yep. He's like, nope. Yeah, his whole idea is to pull that stuff out of the graveyard and onto the battlefield. Sure, I had a good time. His whole thing, so whenever you've got Scavenging Ooze just pulling stuff out of the graveyard at instant speed, yeah, none of that's going to work. Ooh, we leveled up and got a pack. Maybe we'll end this one with a pack opening too. I am currently in the process of saving up gold for rotation. Wizards also ran the, I keep saying Wizards, but technically it's the Arena team. Ran this really good special on gems a week ago, and I packed on some of those as well in preparation for, ooh, yes please. So there is the argument, do you put the Wildborn Preserver down first, and then on the first, yeah, so if on the first turn, I think I might, no, I don't like the idea of just sitting. The argument is that you don't put anything in the first turn. You put Wildborn Preserver in the second turn, and then you cast Moss Viper in the second turn to make this a 4/4 whenever it comes into play. But that's a lot. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for what benefit? To pause yourself out 3 turns and lose tempo on that? I don't know. Maybe that's the right answer. On the Nessian Hornbeetle. Oh, maybe he knows something we don't. You should fear my Moss Viper. Fear it. Sure. On his turn, I'll pull the Nessian Hornbeetle out and get Scavenging Ooze up. This feels very control-y. Yep. This is a super mutate deck. Just hasn't gotten there yet. I feel like I want to go Garruk's Uprising. Because I want to get, of course, Gigantosaurus in there. Gigantosaurus with Trample. Pretty darn scary. Sure. What you got, my friend? I see no white, so I don't see a ton of board wipes that are going to really super concern me. Boy, is he Yoga Cola. Yoga Cola, that's good. Taking his time. He's going to take that damage, too. Guess he's not that concerned about taking the 4. We'll see how he feels about 10. Storm's Wrath. Oh, darn. Draw a card. Exactly what I was just thinking. Oh, look, he's got triple. I can ram through with Gigantosaurus. Brazen Borrower. Aw, you're being mean. I don't know if he realizes, but maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I've got a plan to get Gigantosaurus and then ram through down. Yeah, I'm not a fan of him doing his exiling. Not a fan at all. Now, we'd be able to pull off Questing Beast and Gigantosaurus and ram through at the same time. That could be fun. That could be oodles of fun. And since we now know his full hand... I mean, the worst case scenario puts Brazen Borrower down, but that's not going to stop the trample. Oh, why? Why? Why, good sir? Why? Because he's going to sacrifice it anyway? Oh, no, he sacrificed her. Interesting. Cool. This should be interesting. So let's ram through. Which is going to be 7 to his face, plus 10 is 17, plus the 4. Sure. Boom! And that's how you win it. With Gigantosaurus with trample, baby. Yes. Yes, I did. I had a lot of fun with that one. That is a great way to end this one, to be able to pull Gigantosaurus off. Even the opponent thought that was a good idea. He's like, nice. Or he was mad about it. One or the other. I did promise you a pack opening at the end. Like ear to ear to be able to get that to pull off. That's awesome. Gigantosaurus with trample. Ah, so lovely. All right, so that's going to do it for this one. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below how you do your Mono Green Stompy. I don't know how you do it, but darn it, Gigantosaurus, the big, gigantic dinosaurs is how I feel it should be done. But maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments down below. And until next time, guys, we shall see you in the arena. This video was brought to you in no small part by our patrons. If you would like to help out the channel, go to www.patreon.com/oldguygamingmtga, and thank you for your support.